I won't be a slave.
Oh, didn't you know? Never trust the wicked. When the cards are on the table, they tell wicked lies and fables. Unable to be dropping the prophecies like we be. Flipping up through the scriptures like Exodus 15 and 3. Ooh, the Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name. How could you think to even add much more? Or is you lacking understanding? Because these pork chop preachers be lying but still demanding. Looting money from your pockets though. But never to teach you when they reach you that the son of God's a so-called Negro. A woolly gray afro and dark. That's where we step in to tear these lies apart. Scripture after scripture, let it rip you if you wicked. The Israelites are coming from Eastern to Pacific. Scholars are prolific with the scriptures like Solomon. All praises to the Most High that he chose us, now we in.
Here's a little something about the hidden truth. Somebody should have told you about the hidden truth. What? You can't get away from the hidden truth, cause it's real.
What's real?
It's real.
That's right.
Here's a little something about the hidden truth. Somebody should have told you about the hidden truth.
What?
You can't get away from the hidden truth, cause it's real.
What's real?
It's real.
That's right.
As it is written, the truth is sitting inside of a simple mind of a holy nation that doesn't know that they're divine. So let us take this time to run the line on the future. Prophecy of how the devil seduced you. There's more religions than there are pigeon dung, but none of these religions can tell you where you truly come from. This message is for the ones they call minority in the USA ghettos up under Satan's authority. The vast majority of my people don't have the true knowledge and understanding of the Bible, that they're the Jews. That's right, Christ and all the prophets have a dark complexion. So any foes of the facts don't have no protection. We make connection with the past with knowledge of the ever-present Bible to help my people with their suicidal tendencies, cause they tend to be led astray. We looking for that one trait, headed for the payday.
Here's a little something about the hidden truth. Come on, somebody should have told you about the hidden truth.
What?
You can't get away from the hidden truth, cause it's real.
What's real?
It's real.
That's right.
Here's a little something about the hidden truth. Somebody should have told you about the hidden truth.
What?
You can't get away from the hidden truth, cause it's real.
What's real?
It's real.
That's right.
Let it be known, niggas.
Shalom, brothers and sisters. Welcome to another exciting edition of The Hidden Truth. I'm your host. I'm Priest Kazakia. And once again, we have Priest Tahawam Mayam.
Shalom, brothers and sisters.
And we have Priest Karatazah.
Shalom.
Okay, we're the Hebrew Israelites. Okay, Hebrew being our language, Israelite our nationality. And our show is based off of these people right here. And our focus is to bring them back to their true nationality and their true identity. Okay? And we go over a lot of basics when we deal with our show. So if you brothers and sisters have any questions or comments, you can call us and text us when the number comes on the screen. Okay, this is the third part of our show. We've been going over the true Jews, being the so-called Negroes in America. So we're going to continue into that. I want to say this for you brothers and sisters that are watching us from YouTube. We welcome you brothers and sisters. And we're located here in Houston. A lot of people don't know that we're in Houston. We do have a school. You brothers and sisters are welcome to come to class. The text number comes on the screen. You can text us with on the show or after the show. The call number is actually a live-in call-in. So when we're here live, you can call in on the show, okay? And we're about unity. We're about gathering our people together. We're not about division. We're not about stupidity and ignorance. We're about gathering these tribes. Put that sign up for me again. Because if anybody knows your true nationality, your true identity, we are not a gang. Let's get that straight. We're not a gang.
Right.
So we're not Israelite gangbangers.
Right, we're not putting our videos on YouTube so you guys can come and mark your territory. And,
right.
Well, I'm from this camp and I'm from that
right.
camp.
Because that's stupidity.
Right, we obeying Zephaniah 2:1.
Right.
Gather together, nation not desired.
Right.
These people right here.
Exactly, and that's what we're about. We're about gathering our people back to the truth. And let me say this for all you brothers and sisters out there. The scripture plainly says, we know in part and we prophesy in part. So when Christ come back, that which is in part, it is going to be done away with. So all you brothers and sisters tuning in to the different Israelites, different brothers and sisters, everybody don't have it all. Okay, so we're not here going over the deep breakdowns, and we're definitely not reading out of the book of Jasher, the book of Enoch, because you got brothers and sisters that don't even know they're the chosen people of God. Right. So we're not reading out of these books because we're not trying to gain some power over brothers and sisters, and we're not trying to gain an Israelite upper hand on brothers. It's about gathering our people together and gathering these 12 tribes back together again. And if you brothers and sisters are sincere, then that should be your focus. Once again, we're not a gang. We're a nation that's in exile, okay, from the so-called Negroes on down, and have been divided up through Esau, through this society, through this kingdom, and now we got to come back together, okay? And that's going to, the only way we're going to come back together is, one, as we get this knowledge, we learn that it is about the love and it is about the unity. So in saying that, let's go ahead and go into today's show. We're finishing up the third part, right?
Yep.
We're finishing up the third part of the show.
Christ and the true Jews.
Right, who the true Jews are. We ended on Ham, and there was a brother that had called in, and we kind of ran through that. Remember, this is an hour show, so during the end, we kind of speed up through it. We only got an hour on this because it's a live show. Right. Okay, so you brothers and sisters, if you have any calls or questions and you don't get through to us, we do have the YouTube page now up, which is where?
Yeah, that's you can look up the Israelite School of Biblical History and Practical Knowledge.
Right, the Israelite School of Biblical History and Practical Knowledge.
Right, or it should be on there under like either Lost Tribe 1 or Thahawan 1.
Okay,
like
Lost Tribe 1, Thahawan. Listen, could they get us on our webpage to YouTube? From YouTube.
Yeah, we're setting that up.
We're setting that up?
I'll have that set up.
Okay, so if you go to this website, okay, we're gonna link it to the YouTube page, right?
All right.
Okay, so look out for that. And we are local. We do have classes. We do have our school 8524 South Braeswood. So you brothers and sisters, if y'all have any questions, comments, call us. Likes, dislikes, call us, and we would love to talk. Okay, so going into that, we were dealing with Ham, and I want to go right back into that because the brother had called, and he asked a question, about the Africans, about us being called Africans.
Right.
So, and it was a good point because you were bringing out, Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth.
Right.
The Israelites, the so-called Negroes, are Shemitic, not Hamitic.
Exactly.
And you were touching up on that. Let's recap on that, because we kind of sped up through that during our last show.
Yeah, no problem. Go back to the Zondervan Pictorial Bible Dictionary, and again, this is a dictionary of all the words that are in the Bible, all the different characters in the Bible. So you're going to see here that that even the so-called white man knows this. This is not one of our books that we printed out. This is something that even the so-called white man knows, Hitler knew it. That's why we have the book here we brought out on the last show, the Nazis by Tom Life.
Right.
Here we're in Zondervan's Pictorial Bible Dictionary. You can get this at your Barnes & Nobles or your Christian bookstores. All right? I want you to read the excerpt on Ham.
Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of the 8 persons to live through the flood.
Right, now you got to understand, the whole world was, there was a dark-skinned people. Cain was marked a certain way. There were albino types and all this stuff. But after the flood, only 8 people were alive. Noah, his wife, his 3 sons, and their wives. Right? So you had 8 people that lived through the flood. Ham was one of them. All the people that lived through the flood were dark-skinned. So from those 3 families come all the dark-skinned nations of the earth, come all the nations of the earth, excuse me. And Ham was one of those dark-skinned people. All right? Go ahead.
He became the progenitor of the dark races.
Right, it says he became the progenitor, which is the forefather, all right, of the dark races. So right there, anyone would say, okay, well, there you go. See, the Negroes are dark races, and he's their father. And just like, it's going to name these other African tribes, and you're going to say, okay, well, see, there you go. But like I said, even the white man knows this truth. So watch this, read.
Not the Negroes.
Right. He became the progenitor of the dark races, but not the Negroes. So they are a dark race. The Negroes are a dark race, undisputable, but he's not their forefather. All right? So that'll leave you a question in your brain we'll address later. Where did they come from then? All right, go ahead.
But the Egyptians.
So the Egyptians are a dark-skinned people. Read on.
Ethiopians.
The Ethiopians are a notoriously dark-skinned people to this day. They are still known as Ethiopians. Read on.
Libyans.
Go ahead.
And Canaanites.
And the Canaanites are also dark-skinned people. These are North African nations. So there were all the nations of the earth at the time of the Bible and stuff after the flood were dark-skinned, is what this is showing you. But we are not lumped in with the families of the Africans, the Egyptians, the Libyans, the people of Canaan. We're not lumped in with them. He separated that. That's known as a clear separation, that we were not of the Hamitic tribes.
Right.
All right. So where did those tribes come from? Where do we come from? The nation of Israel. Where does the so-called Negro come from? The dark-skinned man in America, or the dark-skinned men throughout the world that are not of the African tribes.
Right.
They come from Shem.
Right. Shem, and you had 5 families of Shem. You had Israel, Ishmael, Moab, Ammon, and Edom.
Right.
That comes from Shem.
So showing you those are other 5 dark-skinned nations.
Exactly. Except for Edom.
Except for Edom, right.
So I'm going to say that again. You had Israel, Ishmael, Moab, Ammon, and Edom. When you go into the scriptures, those were the 5 families of Shem.
Right.
So as opposed to, what we have to understand is this. Noah was not Caucasian, okay? Let's get that out the way, that madness. You know what I mean? The new philosophy. He was dark-skinned.
Right.
Everybody, biblically, historically, these men were dark-skinned. Okay, so we gotta get that clear. Okay, so that means that Israel, Jacob, he was dark-skinned. Israel, Ishmael, okay, Moab, Ammon, and Edom. And when you look at, they all come out of the so-called black man.
Right.
You know what I mean? They all come out of the so-called black man. And we're gonna go there. But where are you at right now?
The one you just pulled, and then I want you to go to this is 2 scriptures. Go to Jeremiah chapter 13, verse 23. All right, because we just read that who Ham was. He became the father of the dark races, and they say he said the Ethiopians. One of the nations he was the father of was the Ethiopians of the dark skin. So the Most High is going to bring it out here in this scripture about the Ethiopians.
Right.
Jeremiah 13 and 23. Can the Ethiopian change his skin, or the leopard his spots?
Right, he said, can the Ethiopian change his skin, or the leopard his spots? So what the Most High is showing you is the dark skin of the Ethiopian has not changed. From the Bible times to now, they're still dark-skinned. Now, it's the same way. Now, we're not lumped in with them, but I want you to get this scripture also. Go to Amos chapter 9 and verse 7. And this will go right along with this. So you'll understand that, yes, we are dark-skinned. The Israelites are dark-skinned. Now, if you read the book of Amos, Amos is a prophet.
Right.
So the prophets were sent to Israel. They were of Israel.
Right.
And they were sent to Israel to show them certain messages from the Most High.
Right. And if you have not seen the last show, because like I said, this is a carry-on from the last show.
Right, right.
If you have not seen that last show, you can go to YouTube and check it out.
Right.
But we went over scriptures, Job 30:30, where Job said he was dark.
Right.
We went over Lamentations 4 and 8 and 5 and 10, where it said that Israel was skin was burnt like an oven.
Right.
We went over these scriptures. We went over the color, the true image of Christ.
Right.
That he was dark. It tells you in Jeremiah 14 and 2. Judah mourneth in the gates of their language, they are black unto the ground. We went over these scriptures. We don't want to go over them again.
Right.
But if you want that show, you can go back and go on YouTube and check out that show also.
Right, right.
Right. So it's been established. We've already established with the scriptures that the prophets, Christ, and if you go through Matthew's 1 and 1, all the way back from Christ's lineage, all the way back to Adam,
Right.
you find out that everybody was dark-skinned, excluding Esau or Edom, because his name means red, wasted away. Okay, so go ahead.
Oh, okay. So read on where you're at Amos.
Amos 9 and 7. Are ye not as the children of Ethiopians unto me?
Right. Now, read that one more time.
Are ye not as the children of Ethiopians unto me, O children of Israel?
Right, so he said, aren't you like the children of the Ethiopians to me? He's saying you're dark skinned like the Ethiopians.
Right.
Right? You're dark like the Ethiopians. And he's talking to the house of Israel. So why would he address the house of Israel like that if they look like those people that are in Israel right now?
Mm-hmm.
If they look like these images we're going to put up on the screen now, why would he be saying, are you not as the children of the Ethiopians to me? So, again, going back to what we established in from the Zondervan Pictorial Bible Dictionary, the Ethiopians are a dark-skinned people. They are Hamitic. But even in Zondervan, he said, but they are not the Negroes. You understand? We are not in the same family because the Negroes come from Shem. All right? And that's why the Most High said, aren't you like the children? That's one of the reasons the Most High said, aren't you as the children of the Ethiopians to me? He was also talking about our insanity at this time of depending on the Egyptians and depending on these other nations, whereas we should have been dependent on him. But here, we're referring to the skin color of the Ethiopians. All right?
Right. Let me get one on that. Yeah, go to Exodus 11, verse 7 really quick. And once again, we're touching on Ham because a lot of people, a lot of so-called Negroes or the tribe of Judah, if you could put that sign up for me really quick here. We're going to Exodus 11 and 7 because of the tribe of Judah, Benjamin and Levi, sometimes they try to identify themselves with the so-called motherland, which is so-called Africa.
Right,
which
the
they were,
Rastafarian movement.
Right, exactly. They try to say they're of the African. But we're going over and showing that not only historically, and the Caucasian or the white man knows that you are not African, but biblically, the Most High put, there's a difference between Shem and Ham. We're Shemitic. The Israelites are Shemitic. The Africans are Hamitic. So there's a difference, and that's what I'm going to Exodus 11, verse 7 is going to edify on that. Go ahead.
Exodus 11 and 7.
Read.
But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that ye may know how that the Lord doeth put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel.
Right, so the Most High put a difference between us.
Right.
And when you look at spiritually, when you look at the Africans spiritually and they don't got the same swag as Israel. They don't got the same spirit, nor do they have the same swag. They don't walk like you. They don't talk like you. They don't act like you.
Right.
Their spirit is totally different. The Most High, there's a separation in that. And we got to get this because you're dark skinned. And a lot of Israelites do it too. But we come to terms when it comes to the Africans. We get it when it comes to the Africans. Like when we teach, we know that, listen, the Africans and the Israelites are different, even though they're dark skinned. Now let's think and use our mind and understand that in that same perspective, you don't know everybody just because they're dark skinned that they're Israel. You know what I mean? We don't know who, just because you're dark skinned, your father might be of another nation. So that it's not necessarily by color that determines your nationality. So, but we know that Christ was of the tribe of Judah. Okay, we know that the true Jews were dark skinned. So that they weren't these people over here that are calling themselves the Jews. Go to Revelations 2 and 9 really quick, just to refresh on that. I know we touched on it, but Revelations 2:9 and 3:9.
Right. And if you got those pictures, just go ahead and put them up of the fake Jews up there and everything.
Read that.
Revelations 2 and 9. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty. But thou art rich.
Read.
And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews.
So these people are the only ones that if you would ask yourself Jews, you would identify with them. Because the black man in America doesn't think they're Jews. They think they're Africans.
Exactly.
Now, I'm African. I'm from the motherland. You came there, and we're going to retouch on that through slavery. Because the Africans and the Arabs showed you why these people right here were stealing your identity, and you were brought over here to America, and you were called Niger. You were called nigger. Negroes, right? But at the same time as your identity was being stripped from you, now you have these people stole your identity. And I'm not sure if we touched on it or not. We probably brought out the book, but the Arthur Koestler, the 13 Tribes, it's a real good book that goes into that.
Right.
And it shows that. We'll touch on that. You don't have to go there. We'll stick with Ham.
Right.
But just showing that the so-called Negroes, as your identity was being stripped and these people were taking it, you were adopting yourself and calling yourself what?
Right.
You were calling yourself Africans.
African Americans.
Yeah, you were calling yourself African Americans.
Right.
So the scriptures are true. The Most High said He would scatter us, and we would be beaten to the point where we wouldn't even know our identity. We wouldn't even know our nationality. Right. Where are you at?
Last precept. Of them which say they are Jews and are not.
So and this is the point of our show. The point of our show is to once again empower the so-called Negro, empower the so-called black man to show that you are the head tribe, you are the tribe of Judah. Right. You don't come out of no dirty-ass Africans. You understand?
Right,
go back to
another movement going around.
Right. Go back to now. When you say Africans, listen, we're talking about Egyptians.
Right.
Go. Let's go back to Exodus 11, verse 7. Why? Because this Egyptology madness is growing.
Yeah, there's like three major. It's Egyptology, Kemet, and then a new one I've been hearing about is Mkumbu or something like that.
Right.
Mkumbu. And basically they're just really militant on this screw the Israelites and things like that. And it's like, bro, you are an Israelite. You know what I mean?
Right.
You have Stockholm syndrome where you love your slave master so much.
Right.
You know what I mean? That you're actually claiming theirs as an identity.
Right.
But they don't claim it.
And you know what? The fact is this. Let's be real with this. The black man has never said that Islam was their identity.
Right.
Let's put it in perspective. They know that that's their religion.
Right.
We're not talking about religion here.
Right.
We're not talking about the Bible is a history book of a people that have been over and over beaten to a pulp because we disobeyed the commandments of the Most High. All the way to the Most High said, listen, okay, I'm gonna have to send somebody because y'all are not getting this. I'm gonna have to send Christ, the last sacrifice. Right? Mm-hmm. As we were in slavery under the Romans, still confused all the way up till America today. Right. So we got to understand this. You ask a Muslim, they don't say that's their identity.
Right.
They know that's a religion.
Right.
That's fine. Like I've always said, let the Arabs have their religion. Right. But let us come back to our identity, you so-called Negroes.
Right.
Okay?
As y'all know, most of y'all know, should know this, religion is the opiate of the masses. It's how they've been keeping people enslaved for thousands of years. I mean, the religion is not a new thing as a method of slavery. It's just invisible chains. They'd say, they wave the Bible around and they say, look, God tells you to do this, and you do it. If after you've been told, listen, we're gonna wave this around and rape your women, we're gonna beat your children against the rocks. After they wave this Bible around, you'll do anything they say once they lift this Bible up like a trained puppy or a trained monkey. And the problem is you're so ingrained in this now that they wave this Bible around and they say, oh, let the police stomp in your door and kill you, and you'll do it. And that's why we're always bringing this out, this nationality, because the Bible said we shall know the truth, and the truth shall make us free. Right. You understand? That's the main importance of what we're bringing out is we're not bringing it out because, oh yeah, we just want to be separate from Africans, or we want to say we're better than everybody. No, The Most High said that we shall know the truth. Christ said we shall know the truth, and the truth will make us free. And he said that for a reason, because we're the most enslaved people on the earth. We're go from one slavery where they beat us with whips and chains to another slavery where they beat us with whips and chains to another slavery where they don't even use whips and chains. We're just walking around calling ourselves free and still in slavery. And building their kingdom, building their society, or building their Walmarts and McDonald's or Wendy's or their Burger Kings. We're building up all their civilization, whatever you want to call civilization. We're building that and saying we're free. But the thing is they're paying us pennies to do it, if they pay us at all. And then they're making billions off of it. They're making billions off of our backs. So we as the so-called Negroes, the West Indians, the Haitians, all the way down to the so-called Mexicans, I'm not excluding them. All the 12 tribes of Israel are the most enslaved people on the earth. Even if you deal with those Central American tribes, they go there, they wave the Bible around, and Dole and Chiquita go ahead and plant their roots in there so that every man that lives in Central America is now, if he grows a pineapple on his land, if he grows a banana on his land, he could be thrown in jail. He can be put arrested by the military because he didn't give that pineapple or that banana over to Chiquita or to Dole. So they're enslaved, but we still want to walk around calling ourselves free. But Christ said what he said for a reason. In St. John 8:32, he said, "You shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free." So we're bringing out this truth so that you 12 tribes, you so-called Negroes on down, can be made free. You understand? Hopefully y'all understanding that.
Yeah, because, it's important that we're going to finish it up because, brothers and sisters, you got to understand it. The Bible is not what they told you. It's not for you to go to church one day a week, jump around and dance and sing. This is really the basic instruction before leaving earth. This is what's supposed to guide us with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to guide our wives, our family, our children, our nation, to guide this nation. If we understand the Bible, then we would understand that the reason why all this confusion and negative and hatred and bloodshed and drugs and homosexuality and transvestites and all these things in religions is because they don't want to be under the Most High. They took the Bible out of America, they took the Bible out of the schools, and they will not guide themselves with the laws of the Most High. So they've reaped the repercussions, right? So the Most High is telling us, out of that, the chosen, you brothers and sisters, wake up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why, and we're going to go back, we're going to go back to Exodus 11 and 7, but really, real quick, go to Matthew 10, verse 5 and 6. Because you got a lot of new brothers and sisters that say, well, nationality don't matter.
Right.
Well, then why did Christ say this? Read that.
Matthew 10 and verse 5.
Go ahead.
These 12 Jesus sent forth and commanded them, saying, "Go not into the way of the Gentiles."
Which are nations.
Right.
Gentiles in the Hebrew is Gaworim, which means nations.
Right. Any nation outside of Israel.
Any nation outside of the children of Israel. They knew who they were. He said, go not to what?
Into the way of the Gentiles.
Don't go to the nations. He said, don't go to the Gentiles. See, this was very important that Christ, as he stepped in the scene, as he came and presented himself, he made a statement. Don't go to the nations. I don't want that right now. Read.
And into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not.
And don't go to the land of Samaria. Why? Because the Philistia Jews were over there.
Right.
When you read in 2 Kings, the Israelites were taken out of their land, and the Most High had the Ethiopians be engrafted into Egypt. That's where these Philistia Jews come from.
Right.
That's where a lot of Ethiopians think they're the Jews. They're not the Jews.
All right. That's 2 Kings 17, verse 22 down.
There you go.
And you can read where the king of Assyria, Shalmaneser, actually took us out of Samaria, out of our land, and replaced us with those African nations. All right, so, he's not just, throwing stuff out there. That's in the Bible for you to actually go and look up. That to this day, it says that there were no Israelites living in Samaria.
There you go. So he said, don't go to the land of Samaria. What is he pointing out? He said, don't go to the Gentiles. Gentiles means nations, any nation outside of the children of Israel. Read.
But go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Which was another nation. So, you know, why are we trying to pound this in brothers and sisters' head? First of all, you're not getting taught your true identity, your true nationality, and we went over it the first show.
Right.
It said in Romans, it said all the covenants, the laws, the teaching of the laws. What was that? Romans 9 and
3 and 1, and then also 9 and 4.
9 and 1 on down to 4. So it's showing that the Most High is showing us that Christ, he went to the Israelites. Right. Go ahead.
And as ye go, preach, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand.
Right, so because the kingdom of heaven was meant for the children of Israel.
Right.
See, so we're dealing with nations. So all that madness of all nationality doesn't matter. Then why did Christ not just say, and right there, right when he came on the scene, he first got his 12 apostles. His first statement was, "Listen, don't go to the nations. Right. Don't go to the Gentiles."
Another one, if I can, if y'all from the beginning of his ministry to the end, when he comes back, once you go to Matthew 25:31.
That's exactly what I was looking for. And I was like, "Where's my?" Go ahead.
You got it.
Yeah, Matthew 25, verse 31. When the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory, and before him shall be gathered all nations.
Right, so when he says Son of Man, you know he's referring to Christ. This is Christ talking. He said he's going to sit on the throne, he's going to gather all these nations, right? Nations,